Good morning, everybody. How's everyone feeling this morning? Good. I know where my morning people are at. I love that. Is anyone feeling a little bit drowsy? Maybe you stayed out past the 10:30 p.m. curfew last night. I heard that there was a party that was shut down actually at 9 p.m. So for any of you that were party animals, a part of that group, great job. It really is such a privilege to be able to share this space with all of you this weekend. This is my very first Midwest Pets and my first Pets conference for this Rotary season, so I'm really excited to share this space with all of you this weekend. Now, last night we heard such a powerful presentation from past Rotary International Vice President Nikki Scott about the power of leadership and leadership development in this amazing organization that we all have the privilege to be a part of. And I personally felt like that message really resonated with me. I feel so strongly that I would not be where I am in life today, personally, professionally, or otherwise, without this amazing organization. So hopefully you all took some tidbits from that presentation and also from all of the amazing conversations that you have had and are going to have throughout this incredible weekend. Now, I have the task of talking with all of you about the topic of membership this weekend, which is a pretty daunting topic, if I am completely honest about that. Now, I come from about 2.5 hours away from here, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Has anyone been to Kalamazoo? Oh my goodness, wow, I was not expecting that. That's so exciting. I was going to make a joke that it actually is a real place and it's not a Dr. Seuss made up town, but that's awesome that you all have been there. That's so exciting. And I'm coming from a Rotary family also, so it's always been such a big piece of my life, and it's been such a privilege to be able to grow through Rotary in the Kalamazoo community and kind of plant my roots as both a Rotaractor and as a new Rotarian. So I'm currently serving as president of my Rotary Club. So I feel all of you stepping into these exciting roles for this next year. I was in your shoes not all that long ago. It's really such an honor to lead your organization and your club as you head into this upcoming year. So embrace it and be excited about it. And I don't know, maybe this is working. If we can go to the next slide, there we go, thank you. So this weekend we're spending a lot of time planning and looking ahead and thinking about what's next as we head into this new Rotary year. But it's also important while we're thinking ahead to reflect and remind ourselves where we started. So for some of you who are seasoned Rotarians, you might need to think a little bit far back for this, but who all remembers their very first Rotary project? Raise of hands. Okay, perfect, lots of hands. How about your very first Rotary meeting? Ooh, even more hands, I love it. So as a 26-year-old, I have been a member of Rotary for 27 years. And what that means is I'm a part of the probably very small group who has photographic evidence of one of my very first Rotary meetings, which I was only, if I could maybe go to the next slide as well, that would be amazing, thank you. As you can see, I was very invested in the speaker that day. And I learned early on that it is incredibly important that each and every one of us have a responsibility to grow membership, so I brought my friend. In all seriousness, though, I come from a Rotary family, so my mom was involved in Rotary far before I was born, and she is an active member still today. I joined Interact when I was in high school and became the charter president for my Interact club and started to really understand the importance of the service mindset and having a heart of service and giving back to our community in really meaningful ways and learning about the world through the process. So one of my first international service projects was partnering with an Interact and Rotary Club in the Dominican Republic to install water filters, and that was just so foundational as a young leader in my community. And my experience and my growth as a young leader actually inspired my dad to join Rotary as well. So kind of went in that direction, which is interesting. And we hosted youth exchange students, and my brothers joined Interact, and my mom is actually a district governor-elect. today. So she's actually hosting her own pets in a couple of weeks in Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is really cool. So it's been truly phenomenal to grow up through this organization, quite literally. But what's been even more special has been the amazing experience of sharing these passions and life experiences with my family and being able to share that space and grow through that. Now, I am speaking to the choir a little bit here, but Rotary is really, really cool, isn't it? We are over 1.2 million people of action. We have this privilege every single day to wake up and think about what we can do to inspire people, to make an impact in our community, to extend a hand to individuals on the other side of the world, and do what we can to make a positive impact. And what's cool is there's so much breadth to this organization. We have people who are reading to kids in our communities, elementary students. We have people installing water filters in areas that don't have access to clean water. We're eradicating polio. There aren't any other organizations that can say that they're doing all of those things at the same time. That's so cool. And at the same time, we have so much depth in our organization. We have this amazing Rotary Foundation that has a structure where we can funnel millions and millions of dollars towards really impactful and intentional humanitarian efforts. And through the process, we have the privilege of connecting with neighbors from across the street that we might have never met, or connecting with individuals that maybe would have always been strangers on the other side of the world. And it's that community that we have the privilege to be a part of. We get the privilege of being a Rotarian or a Rotaractor, and that's so amazing. But with that privilege comes a really daunting responsibility, and that's the important responsibility of sharing about Rotary and bringing more people into this amazing, amazing organization and continuing to grow Rotary. So raise of hands, who has Grow Rotary membership as a goal for this upcoming Rotary year? Good. I like to see that. If anyone did not raise your hand, we need to have a conversation later, please. So I currently sit on Rotary International's Membership Growth Committee, and what this means is I get to sit on a board with 12 other really amazing and invested individuals from all over the world. And it's our job to collect data, look at stats, collect stories, look at experiences and different initiatives from around the Rotary world, and take all of that information, digest it, and then advise the Rotary National Board of Directors on different policy and initiatives related to growing Rotary membership. And it really has been such a privilege to be a part of this working group and to see what different parts of the world are doing in order to grow Rotary membership. Now, one of the things that I am really interested in, because I'm an engineer and I can't help it but look at data, is to think about the number of people that we have in this organization. So I said it a minute ago, but how many people do we currently have as members of Rotary? 1.2, yep, just over 1.2 million. And that includes Rotaractors, Rotarians, dual members, and as a dual member myself of both a Rotary and a Rotaract Club, I will say we're not double dipping. Those individuals are only counted once, unfortunately. But 1.2 million members, that's a lot of people, right? If we were to get all 1.2 million members into one room, I don't even think there's a space that would fit that many people, to be completely honest. That's so cool that there are that many people that are passionate about making a positive impact in our community and throughout the world. Now, what I think is really important at the same time, while we celebrate the number of people that are passionate about this organization, we also have to ground ourselves and remember how many potential people of action there are in the world. So feel free to shout it out. Does anyone know how many people there are in the world in total? 7.5 billion, 8 billion, yeah, we'll round out to about 8 billion people. So if you do a little bit of research, of those 8 billion people, about 1 billion of them every single year prioritize volunteering, doing humanitarian work, giving back to their community or the world in some way. 1 billion, with a B, people of action. Now, some of you might know where I'm going with this. So if we compare the 1.2 million members of Rotary today with the 1 billion potential people of action, for those mathletes and engineers and people that like math out there, do some quick math. Does anyone know what that market share is that we have of people of action that are members of Rotary? 0.1%. I heard it. Whoever did math out there, great job. Nice job. Yeah, 0.1%. What? That's crazy. Now, what does that mean? For those visual people, I do have a quick visual here. So for each of those gray dots that we have, and for some of you in the back, you might not even be able to see the gray dots on the screen, but each of those, if those were to represent 1 million people, we as Rotary are one tiny little yellow dot in the middle, which is, it requires a magnifying glass to even be able to see that little yellow dot. Now that is kind of daunting, right? It's a little scary. That's a lot of potential people, but I look at that and get really excited because there's so much opportunity for growth. There are so many people of action out there that either don't know about Rotary, maybe they haven't never been asked to join a Rotary or a Rotaract club, or quite simply, we might not be meeting their needs as a person of action in their community. We might not be meeting them where they're at, whatever that might mean. And so it's up to us as current members, as current leaders of this organization, to change that and meet them where they're at so that they too can be members of this incredible organization that we get to call home. Now, in my professional life, I work as a medical device design engineer, and I work specifically in the neurosurgical space. So one of the biggest focuses that I have in my day-to-day job is interacting with some of our customers. And for those of you that make products for a living in whatever capacity that might mean, you know that it's important to get customer feedback. So in my company, we call this Voice of Customer, or VOC. Has anyone heard that acronym before? Okay, a few hands. Of course, we love acronyms in Rotary, so here's another one for you guys, in case you were missing them. So in the context of my day job, we use Voice of Customer as a way to collect feedback and figure out what the needs are for our current customers and our potential customers. So for my job, I meet a lot with neurosurgeons, with spine surgeons, with nurses, sterile processing department technicians, and ask them about their day-to-day workflow, ask them about what their needs are we meeting their needs with current products, and if not, what can we do to create products that do meet their needs? And what's really important for us to realize is the same product isn't going to meet the needs of every single person. Sometimes we need to customize that product, customize the workflow, customize the experience, and create options for our customers to engage with whatever experience we're putting forward. And the same thing applies to Rotary. Now, I have a quick video to share, which I think does a really good job of highlighting why this is so important in the context of Rotary. So I'm excited for you guys to see this video here right now.
As Rotary, we often ask ourselves, how do we grow, personally, professionally, and organizationally? The answer is simple. To grow Rotary, we need more Rotary clubs. Let's use Anytown as an example. Anytown is a city of 100,000 people and home to one proud Rotary club. But there are hundreds of other people of action, just like us, who are uniquely qualified to become Rotary members. They share the same drive and represent the values and fundamentals of a Rotary member. So why aren't they members? Well, the current club meets on Monday. There are leaders in Anytown who can't meet on a Monday. By excluding this segment, the potential members in Anytown has shrunk. Now consider, what if the meeting is at noon on Monday? There are people who can meet on Monday, but can't meet at noon. So now we have a smaller audience for Rotary in Anytown. Of the remaining group, some aren't interested in a club with a sit-down lunch and speakers. They are passionate about service, but aren't interested in a traditional club experience. And that is okay. The Rotary Club of Anytown isn't doing anything wrong. It just doesn't appeal to particular segments of the community. And if we're going to thrive for years to come, we must adapt and embrace change. In Anytown, we have an opportunity to expand because potential members are everywhere. More than half of the eligible people are prospective Rotary members, waiting to make a bigger impact in their community. But what Rotary Club exists for them? If Anytown creates new clubs at new times and new places, the hidden potential for Rotary will be revealed. As people of action, we must broaden our reach and provide opportunities to all leaders in the community. Together, all of us can grow Rotary.
Had anyone? Oh, sure, we can clap. Now, I cannot take credit for that video at all, but it is by far one of my very favorite videos that Rotary has ever created. It's actually in the Brand Center, which was mentioned earlier this morning. So if you go to the Brand Center and look up Anytown, you can find that and use it for anything in the future. But I feel like it does a really good job of highlighting the importance of being flexible in what membership means and being adaptable to how we engage with and support different types of people in different spaces in their life within our organization. Because at the end of the day, we are a membership organization. That is what we are at our core. And our product as a membership organization is the membership experience. And that includes networking opportunities, community service opportunities, international awareness, fun, 5 areas of service, or five avenues of service, 7 areas of focus, the 4-way test. The list goes on. There are so many different pieces of the membership experience that we get to lean into and provide to our customers who are our members or our potential members. Oops, go back one more. And it's up to us to really lean into that. So if we're looking at that voice of customer topic that I had mentioned before, what does VOC look like in the context of Rotary? So it looks like going into our communities and actually interacting with those 1 billion people of action that are out there in whatever capacity they are. It's being present in those spaces where they already are. So we're gonna do a little bit of an interactive thing. So I'm gonna ask you guys to stand up if your club does any one of these things that I'm going to list off, and feel free to take a little liberty in what that might mean for your specific community. So, does your club have some sort of table or presence or information booth at your weekly or monthly farmers market? Okay, a few people. You feel free to keep standing. Does your Rotary Club have some sort of presence or volunteer effort? Maybe you wear your Rotary t-shirts or Rotary hats at the annual community chili cook-off or mac and cheese fest or something like that. Okay, a few more people. I love it. Now, does your Rotary Club have any sort of presence, whether it's a table or a booth or volunteering, at local high school sports events where you have the opportunity to interact with teachers, with parents, and talk to them about what you do in the community? Okay, a few more people. I love it. Can we give a round of applause for all these people in your clubs? That's VOC. And I challenge each of you, as you're stepping into your year, either as president or a secretary or maybe a district leader, to brainstorm what that might look like for your community. How are you getting out into the community and interfacing with those people that are already leaders, that are already active, who want to give back in some way and have that network of people who care a lot about their community in whatever capacity that might mean? So I challenge you to take that on as one of your goals for this upcoming year. It's really such a fruitful experience. And what those interactions might look like might be very different depending on who you're talking to. But I really challenge you to focus on people's passions in those conversations. You know, what's really cool about Rotary, there are a lot of cool things about Rotary, but one of the really cool things that I always like to say is Rotary is niche because it's not niche, if that makes any sense at all. We have 7 areas of focus where you can do just about any type of service that you would ever want to do through one of those service avenues. And on top of that, we have networking and international awareness and different focus groups and Rotary action groups and different ways to engage and meet people's needs with wherever they happen to be at in life. We're niche because we're not niche. So ask people what their passions are and let them tell you why they would love to be a part of Rotary. If you're talking to somebody at one of these booths that you're going to set up in the community, and they say that they're really passionate about the environment, tell them, oh, that's great. That's actually one of our areas of focus. And guess what? We're thinking about doing a pollinator garden in the community, and we would love for you to be a part of that. No strings attached. You don't have to be a member quite yet if you're not interested, but we'd love for you to join as a volunteer. That's a first step into Rotary membership. Or maybe you talk to a teacher at one of the basketball games, and they say that they know a lot about Rotary and the amazing work that's being done in the community, but they can't get away in the middle of the day based on their work schedule, and your club meets at noon. Oh, that's okay, don't worry. We actually don't require people to attend meetings anymore. We're pretty flexible now. And actually, if you're interested in joining our satellite club and still having that fellowship aside from service, that club meets in the evenings once a week, or maybe once a month. And so you can still stay engaged in that way. So no problem, we can still get you involved. Or maybe you're talking to a young professional and they say, oh, I've heard all about Rotary. My granddad was in it a long time ago. I just don't think I'm at that point in life of wanting to join something like that. Oh, you know what? Don't worry. We've actually changed a lot over the last few years, believe it or not. We're a lot more diverse and representative of our community now. But if you're more interested in focusing on development of yourself with maybe people that are at a similar stage in life, we have a really strong partnership with the Rotaract Club in our community, and I'd be happy to connect you with the president. Now, what's important about that last one is our individual Rotary and Rotaract clubs might not meet people's needs with where they're at in life. Maybe it's the timing difference, maybe it's interest, fill in the blank. It's important that we as leaders in this organization still push to make sure that we're connecting people with that Rotary experience, even if it's not our own club. We still win in the end if we get more people into this organization and that impact continues to grow and grow and grow over time. Now, there, of course, are a lot of different factors to Rotary membership and the different demographics that we've seen that represent our population compared to the global population. And there are a lot of different demographics that we've looked at on the membership committee, but one that I'm really passionate about is the differentiation in age. So on the screen here is just a breakdown in percentage representation for Rotary membership and Rotaract membership combined. So those are the blue graphs, bar graphs, and then the yellow is global population. Now, for those people that maybe aren't quite as mathy as I am, I did normalize the data so that we can focus on the gap that we're seeing, because obviously we don't want to lose any members. We just want to increase in specific areas to make sure that we are representative of our communities. So you can see here, there's quite a big gap, especially for those younger age demographics. And yeah, maybe it is a little bit intimidating. Hopefully this doesn't come as too much of a surprise. But it highlights that there's a huge opportunity. And what I think is really exciting, especially about, we'll say, the under 40 roughly age group, is they have such a long runway ahead of them for service in Rotary. so many years, 60 years maybe for some people, of giving back to the community, of bringing in new members, of engaging with the world around them and continuing to compound that positive impact. And what's also cool about this demographic is these are typically the people that are having families, having kids, and that creates the opportunity for them to bring their kids into Rotary, whether it's through RILA or Interact, Youth Exchange, start new Rotaract clubs, eventually become Rotarians. And it continues to snowball and snowball, and before we know it, we're going to have so many people in this organization if we continue on that trajectory of focusing on filling those two gaps right there. Now, I shared earlier that I come from a Rotary family, and I fall into this bucket where my mom was in her 30s when she joined. My brothers and I joined because of that, because it was part of our lives. And there were a couple of different people up on the stage already this evening who shared, or throughout this weekend, who have shared similar stories of parents or kids being involved, and then it becomes a family affair of Rotary. And I would love nothing more than for that to be such a boring statement, that we have families within Rotary. I would love for there to be so many families in Rotary because it brings so much opportunity, and families get to grow together through this amazing organization. So focus on that as you head into the new Rotary year. Now, just to close this out here, I want to make sure to say one more really important thing. As you're taking on these leadership roles, it's important to make sure that you're taking care of yourselves through the process. Find your outlet. Find your way to fill your cup so that you can continue to fill the cups of your team members and the rest of your leadership team. For me, I really enjoy spending time outside, whether it's running or hiking or walking through national parks or running with my dog. And oftentimes I do a good job of disconnecting from work and from Rotary in those experiences, but sometimes my brain keeps running. And so recently I was on a run through the woods, and it dawned on me that in a perfect world, a Rotary Club functions like a tree. And hear me out before you shoo me off the stage for being absolutely crazy. So the trunk of the tree is like the traditional Rotary experience, right? It's the foundation. It's people getting together to do impactful service projects or people of action making a lasting impact in our communities. But as that tree continues to grow, it's really important that those branches are created. Those are our action groups, our different experiences within Rotary, whether it's e-clubs or satellite clubs or fellowships or networking groups. It's important to create those different experiences for people so they can continue to grow and then grow and flourish in the form of leaves or sometimes fruits, and those are our members. And sometimes those members continue to grow and they decide that they want a different experience. So in the context of a tree, those leaves and those fruits fall off and they create their own trees. And we, as a Rotary community, continue to flourish and grow and expand. And before we know it, we're far, far beyond the 1.2 million member group that we've been at over the last many, many years. So hopefully that's not a completely absurd comparison. It dawned on me and I thought it was absolutely genius, but maybe it's just in my brain. Now, as a current Rotaractor, as a current club president for a Rotary Club, and as a lifelong Rotarian, I just want to share one final observation with all of you that I hope you take to heart as you head into this year as your presidency or as secretary or even as president nominee. We have so much opportunity in this organization to grow. There are so many potential people of action out there that we just haven't engaged yet. And it's up to each one of us to make sure that we're doing that voice of customer, that VOC, and asking them what their passions are so they can tell us why they would love Rotary. So as you head into this year, I just want to thank each and every one of you for your leadership, for investing in yourself this weekend, for being here and being truly present. You are the leaders that are going to help us grow far, far beyond our membership goals for our clubs and for our entire Rotary International community. So thank you, and thank you for your kind attention.